Signed, sincerely, Charlie Dent, Member of Congress, 15th District.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
With that being said, I would like to open it up to the floor if anyone would like to say any comments. Councilman Anders?
Sure. I'm going to call on Wes because he kind of helped bring me in the fold between him and yourself, and been kind of the big brother through the process over the past 4 years, and really helped me out there. And the mayor, again, like I said, the crossing guard, I always see him up at Lincoln over there helping out and being around town, and just the friendly smile. And Mr. Brown, who, his daughter's sitting back there, 16, played softball with my daughter, and started talking to me about the borough and council and said, hey, you should come check it out sometime. And, I sat back there and listened. So he kind of was the one of those, people who helped bring in. And of course, Lee, she's like been my big sister here. There's been times I called her and said, what are they talking about? And especially when I first began. So a great group, and it's great to serve on this council. I'm very proud to have these people who are council and also considered friends. Thank you all.
Thank you. Anyone else?
All right.
Right here. So thanks to the three of you. It's only been 2 years for me here, but obviously with the experience that all three of you have, I got to watch you and hear your input and, hear why things are done the way they are. But you always kept an open mind, all three of you, which it wasn't always just that's just the way we did it, which you hear a lot. Stuff. I don't know that I've heard that here in debates and conversations and stuff. So, that's good. You always kept the open mind. You always were willing to share, how things are done, why they're done that way, and that type of stuff. So I definitely appreciate it. It made the adjustment a lot easier here.
Thank you.
I just want to thank Leanne. Thank you so much for everything you did for me, bringing me on, helping me through everything when I first got on council. I'm not sure I want to thank Wes and Brown for bringing me on, however. Showing up at my door the last day of the signing saying, would you like to be a councilman? I'm not sure.
I think we want to thank Jen.
No, thank you both. You did a lot for me. You helped me through the process. Like I said, like Roy said, he had questions. I had a lot of questions, and both of you, well, actually all three of you were very helpful when I first came on council. So thank you all, and good luck in everything you're doing. And the mayor, thank you for everything. You've been a fantastic leader, great mayor. We'll see you around. I see you everywhere I go, so.
I remember when you moved into Timmins, I knocked at your door.
Yes, you did. And then I got a ticket the same day.
Thank you.
I just, Mr. Neely left us from council a while ago, and he was crying at one point. I was like, why is he crying? And now I know why he cries, because there are people here in this borough, the staff, the council members, that are valued. They're valued. Mayor, you are a big mentor, big dad in many ways. You said, hey, keep listening to the people, be a people's voice, and I appreciated that. I appreciate it. Coming to you in ways of just saying, hey, I don't understand. And you said, hey, this is the background. This is the history of it. And I appreciate that. And I can go on. And, I just want to say to each and every one of you council members today, and Shane, these last 5 years have been awesome. They've been great years. The first 5 were, oh, my gosh, what are we going to do? It's doomsday, 2008 came around. We're struggling. 2009, we're still struggling. And then, we just kind of reorganized our thinking. Said, let's get this thing efficient. Let's get this thing effective. And that's what we did. And, Roger Whitcomb said one time the dark side of politics. I never really got to hear his speech, but I heard it through different, avenues. And I was like, what's the dark side? Well, I kind of experienced the dark side of politics as well here in our little borough. And I'm thinking, well, there should be no picketing of, community park. It's a park. It's awesome. Why would anybody picket community park in a baseball field? Well, that happened, and other things happened. But, at the end of the day, people gave their talent, they gave their time, and they gave their money to this borough over generations upon generations, and they'll continue to do it because people love to serve their community. And I wish you guys the best and in searching for that next candidate. And I look forward to being your next county commissioner and representing Emmaus and the southern part of Lehigh County. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Councilman Thacker.
Guess we're going in order here. I'll start with Nate. I mean, it's certainly been an enjoyable process of serving with you. You've added humor when needed. Sometimes at your own expense, but other times because it was actually funny. And yeah, I know you'd be the first to admit that.
That's right.
But one of the things, and I think Winnie might have mentioned and Bren also mentioned, is that you really were the person that was on the ground meeting with the people. And I mean, all of us discuss topics. We try and get to the best answer, which is what is best for Emmaus. And I always felt really confident in when I would hear your opinion about something that's going on, either when it's at a lower level of the town, it's something that is going on, or it's kind of something that's become a bigger issue, whether it's something within the borough departments. You always had a way of speaking with them in a way that they would actually open up to you, give you real, genuine answers. So when we would sit and debate something, the opinions that you shared, I always felt really confident in saying, okay, yeah, that's probably a pretty accurate description of things, along with hearing everyone else's, and you could balance it out, and if it added up, it was always very, very helpful. And I think that's something that's extremely important to have on council, someone that really can get down on different level instead of just hearing it from the top or just assuming what you read was all that you really needed to vote on. Getting down in there, and so hopefully someone assumes that role. I'm also really proud of you for running for county commissioner and being elected. Obviously, we've shared many conversations about county commissioner, and we've also seen the value of how we're represented at the county level. Right now, it's not necessarily anyone that's elected that has sat on a borough. I mean, they've sat in townships, which operate quite differently, especially from a financial standpoint. So I think that's going to be an asset to the people of Emmaus, also to the county, but to the people of Emmaus, that our voice might get heard a little bit more, but it'll also represent the other boroughs that are there. So congratulations on that. Your 10 years were well served here.
Thank you.
Leanne, fortunately, you are going to be sticking around.
I'm not going anywhere.
Because there is no one that has the knowledge base, for one, just the stuff that you remember always blows my mind. But then the fact that you can literally somehow pull out, oh, well, this is my document from 1998 when I first, and it's just magically there. It's always relevant. It avoids us from stumbling through conversations of, well, I think this was that, or I think this was that. No, it was this, and that was always so helpful. I never added it up that the three of us were the only three that were on for the last 10 years that were on a public safety, and for one, that committee always ran extremely efficiently, and that's all you. But what was that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt there. But also the perspective and dedication that you put towards everything, but especially the emergency services, and obviously the police department probably at the top of that. But no one could ever make that kind of contribution to those services, and I think, just where they've come from and where they've gotten to is night and day difference. But then also your overall dedication. When you were council president, at any meetings, you were always there. We can count on that. You will never miss a meeting. You will be on time. You won't be late. You'll come prepared. And for the residents of Emmaus, that is exactly what someone wants their councilman to be, is a person that is dedicated, puts the time in, knows the issues, knows the people. You've been here collectively your whole life. The people know you, they trust your opinions, and you can find those answers, like I mentioned, same thing for Nate. People that can find those answers, it's the right decision for the people of the town. And Winnie, it's funny. When I was thinking about, we're probably going to say some stuff about all of the different council members, and even though when you talk to you on the side, you're a very conversational guy with a great story or great quip or a funny joke or something, you're actually quite quiet when you're at the meetings. You do a lot of listening, and I think that at the end of the day, there's no one. It would be impossible that would know the lowest level of here's what the people of Emmaus really want. If I was ever completely stuck for a decision where I just really could not figure out what do people really want, and sometimes you hear literally a 50-50. They're both very valid. You could go to you and ask a question, or just hear the comments that you might have made, and that was always at the end of the day the right answer. So that contribution, again, if the goal is do what's best for Emmaus, which it really always was, having someone like you was invaluable.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you for your 20 years of service and your long legacy of family of Yopes that have made their contributions over the years.
And I know you're going to get a little humor on this, because when you did the first race, then you saw my thick-headed Dutch. Then I learned something, and I think you agree with that over the years now. I learned to agree even when you disagree. Do you think so?
I would absolutely agree with that. And you know what?
I even show up at your races.
I know. And you know what? I mean, that is something too. I mean, there are plenty of in business, in personal relationships, in government, those types of things. And I mean, it was definitely a disagreement between the two of us, but I think we both clearly realized, all right, we were both in it for the end game of what is best for Emmaus, and recognized that we're on the same page. Our opinions were initially different, but I think they became very much one and the same. And being a person that was able to come into, I mean, that's a character trait that is very positive. There's someone that, I know you said thick-headed Dutchman, but I think you looked way past that in that issue. And Brent, you mentioned it a little bit, as the lone Dutchman that will be left on here. But I don't think there's anything as authentic, and I don't think we're going to get any.
I can work on my accent.
I was going to say, we're not going to get any more Vunces or a Just Ain't Right or a Say Now, but maybe you'll throw it in just for a character later on. But again, Winnie, thank you for all of your contributions. And collectively to the other council members, it's been great to serve with you. As I have made note to you, I do plan on putting my name in for the 2 seats that are coming up. As I've talked about and I'll talk about here, I was intending to move out of the borough, which is still the intent, but the time frame has changed considerably. My business will be still located right here in downtown. I'll still be a property owner, taxpayer. So my heart will always be in Emmaus, but I'll be literally about 300 feet outside of the borough. And I'd love to serve for another 6 months, 9 months, however long I'll still be in there. But with that said, the time that I've spent in serving with all of you has just been unique. I mean, government in itself, I would say, is a learning curve. You assume that you would run it like a business, or you assume that you would run it like your household, and you don't run it anything like that at all. You're serving someone else, and you're serving the masses. As a business person, you have the luxury of, here is your customer base, and you're usually fairly like-minded, or they're looking for a product that you offer that is similar. But in government, you're representing everyone and trying to deliver a service that is this big, and trying to get everyone to agree, and it's quite challenging. But by having collectively a very good council to look through all of those things, I think we've done an exceptional job in that. Shane, I think I guess Chris is our last addition, but you've been the first of the unelected tier I'll go into. I mean, it would be hard to say that any one person has made a bigger change in all the things that have gone on. Management is everything. I mean, I just talked about business. It's everything in business. It's everything in a household. Leadership, all of those qualities, you have delivered 100% to the borough. You've given guidance where we didn't necessarily have guidance before, or even knew that we needed guidance before. I think we assumed that some of the things we were doing this was the way it was done, and it might have been what we thought was the right way. I think your perspective has changed our minds on a lot of that. You've changed focuses. You've led through topics that probably wouldn't have ever surfaced. You know, we dealt with things that came up as they were here. You dug down into things that were years past, and a lot of them have been resolved, and a lot of them will be resolved in the future. And they've been done in a way that didn't ruffle all the feathers. They let progress continue. People no longer feel that they need to put a roadblock up. They can come to you with questions. They can find out why we're changing the direction, and they get an answer that they can trust. And at the end of the day, if you can trust someone's answer and opinion, they're likely to agree with you. And if they don't, they at least know why we're doing something. So thank you to all of your contributions, and hopefully many, 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 many more.
Till retirement.
Till retirement, yes. The people of Emmaus should be thankful for the current, but hopefully many more. So
Thank you.
And I think I covered everyone. So thank you.
Councilwoman?
Yes. I may be leaving this seat, but I'm not going very far.
Right there.
I will be keeping an eye on everything that you do.
Literally.
I will have veto power. If I'm not happy with something, you will hear from me. No, it's been an honor and a pleasure and a privilege to serve with all of you guys. I think this is probably one of the best councils that I have worked with over the last 18 years. I've been here a long time, and I've met a lot of people through that whole process, but I've got to say I think this is one of the best that I've worked with. Mr. Brown, I wish you the best of luck with the county.
Thank you.
You might need it.
I'm going to need it.
You might need it. Mr. Barrett, I wish you well. I hope you come back, stick around for a little while. Mr. Mayor, I got some big shoes to fill, I think. But I'm going to miss you because we have worked together for 18 years.
Right.
And it has been a pleasure. But I know I will be calling you for advice.
Well, I'll be there for you.
Oh, good, I'm glad. I am so glad. But I'm not going very far. I will be here, and I look forward to the challenge next year. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that seat might be better than the one she actually sits in.
I want a new seat.
I don't think we budgeted that.
No. Take it out of the new building
I will
fund.
say this, though. When she said about watching us, like, I've never been intimidated by anybody on council except for her. And I've always said, you know, it depends on what color shoes she wears as to how our day's going to go.
Some truth to that.
Well, this is something very random, but the clock is working, but it's not chiming. With that being said, I'll miss this council. I agree with Councilwoman Gilbert that this is, I think of my 20 years, this is the best council I've ever been on. The debates that we have, the discussions, there's been times when I've heard a side of the story, it changed my mind, and I think there's times when I brought things up that changed people's minds, and that's the way government should work, and I wish it would work that way all the way up to Washington. This country would be a better place if it worked the way this borough worked. So with that being said, I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a healthy, safe, and prosperous New Year to you and all your family. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Councilman Brown, seconded by Councilwoman Gilbert. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. There's 7 ayes. Meeting adjourned at 8:21.